Yeah, good morning to Varundal. Is it visible, PPT?
Sir.
Yeah, PPT is visible?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. See here, the last class we have discussed about the probability sampling method, that is a random sampling method. So as you know that what is meant by random sampling method and what is meant by non-random sampling method. Can you repeat anyone? Can you say anyone what is meant by random sampling method? Yes, Afrin or Anusha? Or Divya? What is meant by
if each and every
hello?
unit part
uh,
segment of population got an equal
yeah. So here, if each and every unit or part or segment of the population has got an equal chance to be selected, is called probability sampling method. So what is meant by non-random sampling method, Afrin? Afrin or Mubin? Krishnavani? Or Amala? Shivakumar? Supriya Vandana?
Each and every unit of population has not got an equal opportunity. It is
Yeah.
called non-random.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. So in the probability sampling method, we have the 5 types of there. That is the simple random and stratified. So we learned about simple random as well as stratified. So what is meant by stratified random sampling method, Bhagyalakshmi? Bhagyalakshmi. Raviraj.
Sir, they are selected from the subsamplings.
Fine. Some extent it is okay, but you need to give another clarification. Jasmine.
Sir, population divided 2 or more groups.
So here simple you need to say that we can divide. Here convert the heterogeneous into homogeneous. For example, whatever you take class, so the co-education there is a 2 people are there, girls and boys. So this is a heterogeneous group, right? So when you convert into homogeneous, boys as well as girls. So when we convert in the 2 groups, boys and girls. For example, if there is a third gender also there, we can convert to 3 groups like that. For example, if you take farmers is a one heterogeneous group, nothing but on the base of the farm size or on the base of the which crop they are cultivating. For example, we can divide the farmers into different groups. For example, those who are cultivating cotton, they are under one group. Those who are cultivating paddy, they are under one group. Those who are cultivating vegetables, they are under another group. So like that, so simple, we can convert the heterogeneous data into homogeneous, right? That is called stratified random sampling method. Naresh, can you say that stratified random sample is also known as? Naresh. Hafiz. Muhammad Hafiz. Jyoti. Supriya. Another name
Proportional random sampling.
Yes, please.
Proportional random sampling. Proportional random sampling.
No. And there.
Classified, sir.
Yeah, classified random sampling method. Stratified sampling method, nothing but classified, nothing but see, just I have told that convert the heterogeneous into homogeneous, nothing but we are dividing. That is called when you are dividing, that is called classified. Nothing but we are simple when you are talking about types of something. So there are 2 types, nothing but for example, markets are classified into 2 groups or 3 groups like that. Like when you are using classified, nothing but when you are divided, nothing but markets are divided into 2 groups. Like markets are divided, markets are classified. Like that, we can use the terminology. That is a synopsis, right? So here, the stratified, nothing but the classified random sampling method. So now we are going to discuss the cluster sampling method. Cluster sampling method. Here clusters random sampling method, cluster random sampling method. So here same it is seems to be like stratified random sampling method, but some extent it is very different from the stratified random sampling method. See here the population is divided into subgroups like families. For example, as you know that what are the types of families are there? Can you tell me that? Generally, we can use a small family and big family, right? So that is called a giant family and nuclear family. Nowadays, we can in English we can say that then particular that is a giant family and nuclear family. I think nuclear nothing but only 2 or 4 people are living, right? So giant family nothing but they are living with their grandfathers and their grandchildren, right? Like here, when we are dividing into subgroups, for example, when you take the data from the households. So, for example, household nothing but those who are living in a particular house, we can say households. But for example, house to house, the number of people is different from one house to another house. Am I right? For example, in your home, you may be 3 or 4 people in your home, but in neighbor house, so they may have around 8 or 6 members. They may have the giant family. Am I right? Hello. Have you understood that?
Yes, sir.
Like there is a small family and big family, like nuclear family and giant family. Giant family nothing but those who are living nothing but giant in the sense their grandfathers like that. So those who are living nuclear nothing but those who are wife and husband, their children, only 1 or 2 children, right? So that is called nuclear. And at the same time, the cluster sampling method is also different. So here, the simple random sample is taken from each cluster. At the same time, after dividing the groups, the small family and big family, then we will apply the simple random method. Nothing but within that, we will give the chance to everyone. Okay. So at the same time, see cluster. For example, when we have the study, for example, those who are from Telangana, so they may have the idea about the cold belt area. So can anybody tell me that which is the cold belt area in our Telangana state? What are the areas are there under the cold? Yes, please.
Godavarkani.
Yeah, Godavarkani. Simple, you can say districts. I think Karimnagar, some extent Warangal, and Khammam. Am I right? Basically. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, world districts. I'm saying. Okay. For example, if you want to do a research, what are the problems faced by the coal employees, for example, coal belt employees, for a coal employees, simple. For example, those who are working in the coal belt areas, for example, most of the people are working Karimnagar and Warangal and as well as Khammam, right? For example, the coal belt area is there. For example, if you imagine like this is a Khammam and this is a Warangal and this is some Karimnagar. For example, I am saying this is the line, for example. Okay. See here, when we are studying that what are the problems are faced by the employees in the coal belt area in Telangana state. But do you think that what are the problems faced in the Karimnagar are same or similar to the Khammam? Yes, please.
No, sir.
No. So simple, we can divide the cluster. Nothing but we can divide into the 3 groups. Khammam is one group, Warangal is another group, and Karimnagar is another group. Have you understood it? So on the base of the group only we can classify the areas, right? Hello? Have you understood this one or shall I give another example?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
See here, for example, if you are living in a village, for example, see in your village, all the areas are same. Where there is a upper people, nothing but OC people are living.
No,
the
sir.
area is very good, nothing but they are influencing persons, so they can get good roads. Whereas, for example, if you take it up on SC, ST areas, so they may not give the CC roads as well as another roads. So therefore, they may not, nothing but their area is not a good system. Nothing but the canal system is not canal. What is called some wastages as well as some roads is not good in the areas of where there is a SC and ST people are living. Some extent BCs are they are between in the OCs and SCs. So for example, see, if you want to know that, if you want to do research, in-depth analysis of the villages. So therefore you can divide into the groups, group 1, group 2, group 2, group 3, group 4, like that. So SCs are 1, SC2, ST2, BC3, OC4. Like that you can divide the areas, because the areas are not same. At the same time, their living conditions and their environment is different from another people. I think those who are living in the villages, you might have understood easily that how there is a partiality among the people. Okay. At the same time, if you don't mind, then I will give another example, to understand the clusters. For example, those who are studying arts college, those who are studying Nizam college, those who are studying PG college, and those who are studying Kotu Mains and other colleges. For example, if you take other colleges, Begum Women's College or Kartabad PG college. Okay. For example, here those who are studying. For example, I want to study on these people, on the people students. So, what are the problems faced by the PG first year students? PG first year students. For example, the PG first year students are there in arts college, right? Economics people, and PG college, and Nizam college. There are Koti Men's college, there are Begumpet Women's college, Kartabad college, or other colleges, right? So all the students are getting similar problems.
No.
So therefore, I am going to classify and I am going to divide the groups. Arts college is one group, Nizam college is another group, Koti Men's is another group, physical is another group, and Kartabad government or Begumpet Women's college. So I will divide on the base of the subgroups. So therefore, after that, I may collect the data from each college or each group. So that is called cluster sampling method. I think you may have understood that what is meant by cluster and when we can use this kind of sampling method. In which situation we can use this kind of cluster sampling method. Have you understood, please?
Yes, sir.
So anybody didn't understand, let me know. I will explain again. Please, all of you, have you understood, please? Anusha, Bhagya,
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ben, Sandra, Jyoti, Sudhakar, Sumalata, Priya,
Yes, sir.
Priya,
Yes, sir.
Vandana. Then next, what are the advantages of there? Advantages of cluster analysis. See, simple here. The main advantage can estimate the characteristics of both clusters and population. Simple, we can estimate their characteristics. See, the student, PG college students' characteristics different from the arts college students' characteristics. I think, but the characteristics different from college to college, right? It means that, for example, when you are studying that Khammam, Warangal, or Karimnagar, see, the employees' characteristics, nothing but it means that their attitude will be different from one area to another area, right? So we will estimate their characteristics. And disadvantage, see, the cost to reach an element to sample is very high. For example, when we divide into the clusters, so in order to go to there, for example, see, we have the less time. For example, we need to study about the cold belt areas implies problems. If we go Khammam, we will go and we'll collect the data and we'll come back. But if you want to go to Warangal as well as Karimnagar, it will take more time. At the same time, you need to travel from particular place to another place. We need to put a lot of amount of money. The cost is very high. The cost, nothing but the expenditure to reach an element, nothing but a group. To collect the sample is very high. So in order to collect the sample, so we need to spend a lot of amount. So this is one of the disadvantages. And second disadvantage, each stage in cluster sampling reduce the sampling error. For example, when you are divide the clusters, so we will get some errors. So we will come to know that after completion of this class. So what is meant by sampling error and what are some types of errors also we will come to know. Okay. And the more stages, there are more errors. For example, when you divide into two groups, for example, if you divide Khammam, within the Khammam, there are other areas also there. So for example, Kottagodam, another area. For example, we need to divide. Some people we need to take Kottagodam, some people we need to take another area. For example, Karimnagar, Ramagundam, or another area. For example, as some people told that cold belt area, right? So we need to take some people from Ramagundam and other areas. So like that. So when we are dividing into subgroups and dividing, nothing but when you are taking more stages, so we will get more errors, nothing but more errors. I think you hope I hope understood, right? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
So then another method, the fourth one, the systematic random sampling method. Systematic random sampling is very important. Systematic random sampling method. See here, the systematic nothing but see when we are, for example, as per your rule number. For example, see if your rule number 1 candidate, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For example, if you take, I think, yeah, 10 members, right? So 10 members. For example, if I select third person, immediately I need to select sixth person. Then I need to select ninth person. For example, so these two people may think that sir is selecting properly, systematically selecting. Nothing but rule number 3, rule number 6, rule number 9, rule number 12. Like that, if I select, so these people may not be suffer. Nothing but they don't think anything, right? So sir is selected systematically. So there is no bias, right? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
But all units are in the sample frame, nothing but how many people are there, nothing but how many population are there, nothing but in your class, how many students are there? 40 students, for example, I am assuming. Okay, 40 students. For example, if I select 3%, 6%, 9%. For example, some people may they say, for example, if I say 3, so some people may, sir is well known to that particular person, so the third rule number person I selected. If you think that, so there is some bias. For example, I know 2%, nothing but I know rule number 2% who is very good to me, nothing but very good relation to me. Okay, if I select 2, and then again I need to select 5, I need to select 8, I need to select 10. So here, whenever I'm selecting first person, so there is some bias. There is some bias. Am I right? Yeah. See here. Here I'm going to see the procedure how we can follow this systematic random sampling method. See, I'm going to use. Is it visible? OneNote. OneNote.
Yes, sir.
Here, systematic random sampling method. Systematic random thing, but we need to know that. So, for example, first step, nothing but there are steps you can write. These steps are very important steps. So, define the population. Define the population. Nothing but total number of students. Total number of students. I'm an example. For example, see, define the population, nothing but see, when you're going to take the data of employees. So, for example, you need to know how many employees are there in a particular sector. For example, if you take Singareni or any farmers, you need to know how many farmers are there in your village. So that is called, I'm saying example, best example, total number of students. Nothing but I'm going to take the sample from your class. So how many are there? For example, I'm taking 40. Right. Second step. So determine the sample size. Determine the sample size. Nothing but out of 40, how many samples you need to take? Let me know how much sample we need to take. Yes, please.
10.
Yes, please.
10.
10. Okay. Then third step, divide the population. Sample size. This is sample. So yes, is nothing but sample size. So for example, how much population is there? 40 divided by 10. How much will get it? 4. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Four. Then fourth step, select a random number. Select a random number from 1 to 40. So can anybody can select a random number from 1 to 40? Yes,
1 minute, 1 minute.
any number you can take 1 to 40. If you select 1 on no problem, 40 no problem, in between also you can select, not 1 on 140. From that's why I mentioned that select a random number from 1 to 40. Yes, please.
7, sir.
Then fifth step, okay, so add the 4, that is this 4 to 7 number, to 7, add the 4 to 7. So how much will get it? 11.
Yes.
See, for example, I'm going to take a data. Yeah, for example, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. See here, I list out this is called sampling frame, right? This is sampling frame. Okay. So here 1 to 40 members, I will list out their names. For example, your rule number 1, like rule number 2, rule number 3, their names. Okay. So here, see, I'm repeating the step. First step, what is the first step? Define the population, that is a 40, right? Then second, what is the second step? Determine the sample size, 10. Then third step, divide the population with the sample size 40 by 10, you will get 4. Then select a random number from 1 to 7. So here, this is the main important, select a random number from 1 to 7. So first, from 1 to 40, you can select first number is 7. Okay. Then you can add the 4 to the 7. So how much when you add the 4 to 7? Hello? How much amount?
11, sir.
11. Then add 4 to 11. So like that goes on, right? Goes on. So for example, 11 to 4, how much? 15. 15 to 4.
Sir, I
19.
didn't get this.
19 to 4.
23.
23 to, okay, just a minute. Yeah, 23 to 4.
27.
27. 27 to
31. 31.
yeah. 31 to
35. 35. 39.
so see here, how many sample we got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
9.
6, 7, 8, 9. But
9.
how much we need to get?
10.
10. But we got 9. So therefore, we can start from 40 to, again we can start from 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Second chance. Then if you add it, how much will get it? 7.
10.
See, simple. See, how many samples we have selected? 10 only. Yes, please. Have you understood? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in this sampling frame, in this sampling in this sampling, sir, we have to take the samples randomly or by algorithm form, like three difference, differentiation 4 or something like that.
Sorry, I didn't get you properly. Can you repeat again?
In this sample formation,
Yeah.
we have to choose the samples randomly or by algorithm.
Nothing. See here,
Differentiation.
algorithm only. Simple here. See, as I told you that, for example, if you there are 40 students are there, if I pick 2 member, 14, 24, 32, 12, 18, 38, 37, for example, if I select them like that, so what do you think? What is your number, for example, if you don't mind? Mubin?
19, sir, 19.
19. For example, when I'm going to select 10 members, for example, if I didn't select you, randomly if I select only 2, 12, 22, 24, 20, 14, 18, 20, 28, 37, 38, 40, 36, for example, like that, if I select, if I didn't
Yes,
select you, what do you think? Sare selected before my number and after my number, but why did he select me also? You have some doubt, am I right?
Yes, sir.
So like that, in order to avoid that bias, for example, here see, if I select randomly, for example, if I 18 and 20, but they are well known to me that. For example, you are not well known to me. So therefore, what do you think? So those are well known to particular SAR only, so they are selected. Randomly, you can give a statement. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
So SAR is biased. You may say that SAR is very biased. Am I right or wrong?
To avoid that, to
avoid the bias only, we are selecting systematically. But when I'm selecting random numbers here, for example, I know 40 students are there. I need to select only 10 out of 40. I need to select 10 only. But when you're dividing the 4, when you divide the population by sample size, 4 I got it. It is a time of selecting a random number here. See, when I'm selecting a random number from 1 to 40. Here there is some bias. Only bias will become only for one candidate. For example, if I know 7 member, for example, whose rule number is 7, if they is well known to me, if I select the person, then I don't bother of others. Only I need to select one person out of 10, only with bias. So I need to select only one. So for example, if I select from 19 only, for example, what other people may think? So Mubin is very close to the particular SAR only. So therefore, he has selected first. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir. Sir, I just like, I'm just asking. We can write an atlas, sir. That's it.
Yeah, okay, no problem. But here we need to understand what is the bias and what is unbiased. Here, for example, if I select 5 only, so it may be my lucky number is 5. For example, if I select, for example, but if you don't know that why SAR has selected 5. If you think that
Yes,
if they are calling nothing but if they are talking very much to me, that you may think that so this person is talking to SAR now every time, every day. So he can wishes to SAR only. So therefore he has selected 550 number, rule number person, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Do you think like that or not?
Yes, sir. I do think.
So there is some bias. For example, if I select 19 only starting, some people may think that it is a bias, right?
Yes, sir.
So like that is the main thing in systematic random sampling. That's why it is called systematic random sampling. Systematically, see, if I select only 7, here I didn't select 10. So systematically I need to select 11 only, and 15 only, and 19 as well as 23, 27, like that I need to select only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
For example, here when we are going to do research, for example, if the third person is not willing to give the data, then what you have to do? That is the main question may arise in the systematic pattern, right? So again we have to select 7 only. I have selected 7, but when the third person is not responding properly, so I need to select another sample. But when I am going to select another sample, for example, if I select 4, it is bias only because there is no systematic order, right? So therefore, we will lose some sample also. We will lose one sample also, right? So this is some disadvantages in the systematic random sampling method. I hope you understood. See, this question has come in the UGC NET exam. So they can ask what are the steps for the systematic random sampling method, or what are the procedures to follow the systematic random sampling method. It's a very important 2 marks question. Okay, so you need to understand these 5 steps. First one is I'm repeating: define the population, determine the sample size, and divide the population by sample size, Then select a random number from 1 to 40. Here, not why I mentioned 1 to 40, nothing but population is 100 or 40. Therefore, I'm 1 to 40. If the population is 100, you need to take 1 to 100. Okay. Then add this random number to this population divided by number. Nothing but whatever you got that answer, so that we can add it. There is a 7 plus 4. Right? Then next 11 plus 4. Then 15 plus 4. Like that, we will add it. Like this goes on. So you will get a sample size. I think I hope you understood all the people. Still anybody didn't understand, let me know. Yeah. Then see here, the advantage is see most moderate cost and moderate usage, nothing but we can use this kind of method in the sampling frame. And next one,
Sir.
simple to draw sample, right? Please.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah, please. Okay.
Sir, in classroom means we will feel biased, but when we take other population like farmers, we don't know anyone, no, sir.
It means that
We can select-
how many farmers are there, or who are the farmers?
No, sir, you said that if we select known persons, we'll feel biased, but outside research, when we do, we don't know anyone, no, sir.
Yeah. Just a minute, I'm going to give example. So here, for example, farmers, as you say, Vandana, so farmers. For example, when you are doing a research, so you need to know that, for example, if you are going to select one village, can you say your village name, please?
Shankarpalli, sir.
Shankarpalli. Okay, Rangareddy district, right? Shankarpalli,
Yes,
for
sir.
example. Okay. For example, you know that in your village, how many farmers are there, for example? If you don't mind, do you know or not?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. For example, see, those who are belongs to farming community, so they know. For example, the Shankarpalli is one mandal, no? So therefore, you could not know that how many farmers are there. But for example, if you are living in small village or village, a big village, so then you will come to know that who are the farmers in your village. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. For example, if you take in neighboring Shankarpalli village, for example, your village, for any village. For example, you know that how many farmers are there. For example, if you list out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. So in your village, for example, you can imagine that 80 farmers are there. That you should know that when you are doing research, you should know and you should collect from the AEOs, that is the Agriculture Extension Officer. When you're doing research, you should gather information from AEOs. How many farmers are there in the particular village, right? For example, I'm assuming that there are 80 farmers in your village. Vandana.
Yes, sir.
So how many samples are you need to collect from the 80?
What, sir?
How many sample size do you want to collect?
20.
20. So then 20. So then third step, divide the population by sample size, 80 by 20. How much you will get it? 4, right? So then
4, sir.
select a random number. Random number, for example. For example, here, when you're listing the names 1 to 80, so you may have the list 1 number, for example, 2 number, what their names, 3rd number, their names. For example, if you are selecting a random number, for example, can you say any number?
40.
40. For example, here, when you are listing the names, you know the 40 names. For example, your Babai or your uncle. I'm assuming only. For example, your uncle name. For example, in the 40, your uncle name is there. So before the selecting 40, you think that I need to select my uncle because he may give a proper answer to me, right? Do you think like that or not?
Yes, sir.
For example, in your neighboring village, you know your relatives, for example, right? So, for example, when you're selecting your relatives' village, so you need to select nothing but you need to list out your uncle name. Am I right or wrong? If your uncle belongs to farmer, right? For example, your uncle name is something, for example, XX, for example, right? For example, when you're selecting 40, what other farmers may think that when you're collecting the information, if you talk to this person, your uncle, so before introducing you also, your uncle may introduce to all the people. So she is very my some relative. So she is want to collect some information from us. So therefore, we need to give some information to her. Maybe he will introduce like this, right? if you select the person, what other people may think that those who didn't select in that village. So
Sir, that is, sir, if you don't know anyone, I'm asking.
yeah, if you don't know, that is the case only. For example, sometimes it means that you may, for example, when you're interacting with the farmer, so definitely you should collect information from the particular person when the is listing. For example, when you went to village, for example, practically I'm saying, for example, when you enter into the village, so you don't know anything. For example, in particular village, you don't know any farmer, but you need to ask someone. So if you ask this person, for example, right? So if he is farmer, if he is a farmer, then so he is very close to know. So therefore, you would like to introduce the another people also, right? This people, this person, this person. So you need to collect some information from him. It means that he is well known to you when you are talking. First time you don't know, but when you interact with he or she or he or she, so you need to collect nothing but he may give the or she may give the information. It's okay, but as I told you that sometimes we will select randomly known person also, known person. For example, see if you introduce the person, for example, so I need to take their name, this name, this name, this name, this name. For example, we